Backchat TV. Subscribe.
He has also talked about it. That left hook is so good, and it's so long and so precise and so hard, but
What's going on, boxing fans? You know I'm back with another one, and we're going to get straight into this heavyweight, really exciting matchup actually. The fight's slept on a little bit because Usyk obviously is a high caliber fighter who was expected to fight for undisputed against Tyson Fury. We didn't get that fight, and now we've got Daniel Dubois, who is ranked quite a few places below Usyk, and a lot of people see this fight as a mismatch. Now, I've spoken to some people personally, some fans, and just friends and people that I know, and they all say that Daniel Dubois has got zero chance. And I've also spoken to some more, you could say, more hardcore, maybe like more professional people, fans, people that are actually in the industry as well, and they say that Dubois has very little chance of winning. So they're all going by the book. Dubois has no chance. This is the consensus of what most people have said that I've spoken to. Now personally, I've got an issue with this. Now I rate Usyk just as high as everybody else. Undisputed, never beaten at cruiserweight, never beaten at heavyweight. He's beaten the likes of Anthony Joshua and all sorts of top fighters, never even been down, never even looked seriously hurt or anything. I understand that he's untouchable, but the point I'm trying to make is this is a perfect example, if you ask me, where the triangle theory really comes unstuck, and I'll tell you why. So people will say Dubois didn't look great in his last fight where he had an injury and he went down a few times. Dubois was convincingly beaten by Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce was demolished by Zhang, and Zhang is nowhere near the standard or the class of Usyk. Someone could say something like that. Or Anthony Joshua is levels above Dubois, and Usyk beat Anthony Joshua twice. So I understand all these things, but it's not really the way things work, particularly in the sport of boxing. You know, maybe basketball, football, you can get a mismatch and it's very unlikely that the underdogs win because it's just a different sport. But in boxing is very different, and then heavyweight boxing most definitely is different. Daniel Dubois is a big, heavy, athletic heavyweight who is not afraid to throw his hands, and he's got fast hands for a big guy. And he's not afraid to throw shots, unlike Anthony Joshua. This is the biggest difference I see between Anthony Joshua and Dubois. You know, early on in Anthony Joshua's career, he was throwing his hands a lot more, as we know. But as he became more experienced, and with some losses and with some, unfortunate things that happened in his career that may have made him more gun shy, well, definitely made him more gun shy, I should say. It's a combination of becoming more careful, more vulnerable, or I should say more aware of your vulnerability to be knocked out. And I think that's what made Anthony Joshua change up his style and became more gun shy. And we saw that in fights against Parker. We saw that where he didn't throw many punches at all. We saw that in fights, the last one against Franklin, and we definitely saw it in the fight against Usyk. Although Usyk was causing Anthony Joshua to be more aware, there is a natural awareness now where Joshua doesn't want to throw his hands, and this is why everyone's complaining. Now, Daniel Dubois, I don't think Daniel Dubois has this. I don't think he has this fear of throwing his hands, and I think that's going to make a big difference. I could be wrong, because when he did try to be aggressive against Joe Joyce, it didn't work out. He lost the battle of the jabs and he damaged his eye, and mentally he had to have, I think, an operation, and mentally that could have made him more tentative to throw his hands. But other than that, he's quite early in his career, and I don't think that fear has been ingrained in him yet. I don't think he's been hit hard enough to be put off from throwing his hands. This is his big opportunity. He may never get an opportunity like this in his career ever again. And from looking at the press conference and hearing him talk, I feel like he's gonna go for it. He's gonna be careful, but he's gonna go for it. This is his chance to get the remaining belts, apart from the ones that Tyson Fury holds. But the undisputed. This is for everything, and this is to set up an amazing showdown with Tyson Fury and just catapult himself to the top. He's gonna go for it. Unlike Anthony Joshua, I feel like he has some skills that Anthony Joshua lacks in. So you can't really compare them exactly. I feel like Daniel Dubois is a more dynamic puncher in a way. I think he's the harder puncher, to be honest. I think he's the harder puncher. I think he's more fearless, and I think he's a little bit more fluid than Joshua in his combinations. The way he throws his combinations is a lot more fluid. I feel like Usyk is going to find it, well, he may find it more difficult to get out of the way of Daniel Dubois' punches than he did with Joshua, because when Daniel Dubois has you in his sights and he has kind of got quite quick feet, he throws those hands, those combinations, he'll throw 3, 4, 5 punches quite quickly. Whereas Anthony Joshua's a lot more measured behind the jab, kind of throwing one jab, and sometimes throwing a 1-2. And if you move out of range, he resets. Daniel Dubois kind of doesn't do that. If he has you in his sights and you make a mistake, he's going to throw a barrage of shots, and they're all hard, powerful shots coming from a natural heavyweight. Usyk may get out of the way of a few of them, but he may not be able to avoid all of them. And we know dynamite is in Daniel Dubois' hands. He only needs 1 or 2 shots. So I see the danger. All I'm trying to say is don't write Daniel Dubois off like a lot of people are. Obviously, I'm a realist. It's very likely that Usyk is going to win. Usyk is a class act. He's been fighting, amateur career, professional. We saw some amazing skills against Anthony Joshua, the way he avoided all those punches. And Anthony Joshua couldn't really land much. But when Anthony Joshua did get more aggressive and he in especially round 9, I think it was, in the rematch, you saw he had some success. So why didn't he do that before? So Daniel Dubois, I feel he is going to do what Anthony Joshua didn't do. Will he win? Probably not. Probably not. I know I'm hyping up Daniel Dubois. I am hyping him up because I do want to see this young guy have a chance, and I don't want to see him written off. But the smart money obviously goes to Usyk. But I'm just kind of pushing back from a lot of what a lot of critics have said, because a lot of intelligent, smart people in the know say he has 0 chance, and I think that's kind of irresponsible. So I just was a bit triggered by that. Hard hitting heavyweight, it is impossible for him to have 0 chance. He can have a less of a chance, maybe 70-30 or something like that. 60-40, 70-30. I'd agree, but just don't say 0. I kind of got a bit triggered when I heard some people I won't mention say he's got 0 chance. You know what I mean? So that's why I made this video. I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm actually looking forward to him getting a shot. I think he deserves it. Like I said, it's going to be exciting. I think this fight might be more exciting than the Dillian Whyte Anthony Joshua fight. But we'll have to see. Usyk is a slippery customer. He's got great footwork, great head movement. And he does everything right. But Daniel Dubois kind of does a lot of things wrong, and that's what could see Usyk in trouble in a way. I mean, he doesn't have the experience that Anthony Joshua has to kind of get out of the way of punches, and he just doesn't really have that experience. He seems like a fighter who he has enough experience to not get knocked out in the first round, but he hasn't got enough experience in the way that he'll take a shot to land his combinations. And I think with someone like Usyk, you kind of need to be someone like that. Anthony Joshua basically just wasn't prepared when he saw that he couldn't catch up with Usyk. when it came to the footwork. He wasn't prepared to take a punch to get on the inside and to get closer to Usyk, which is something he needed to do. Usyk was just too fast. I think it's going to be different with Daniel Dubois. I think it will be different. I think Daniel Dubois will try to cut off the ring, and he will take a shot. Trying to throw his combinations, he will take a shot and ultimately get close to Usyk and land a shot. I think he's a lot more physical as well. I saw him in a fight. He got very physical and he threw his opponent down to the canvas. And Joshua tends to not really use his size. Instead, he tends to just favour his boxing skills and try to land the right punch. And he often ends up having to reset his feet. And I just don't think that Daniel Dubois is going to be that type of fighter. I think he's going to come forward. He's smart enough to stay behind his jab, but he's also up for a firefight. You know, he's up for it, to get in there and throw hands and maybe get countered and knocked down. But Joshua just wasn't prepared for that, and I feel like Daniel Dubois is. So let's see what happens. If Daniel Dubois can land those punches, it's not gonna. It wouldn't completely shock me if Daniel Dubois beat Usyk. I also feel that it would have to be by knockout. The longer the fight goes, the more likely it is that Usyk is going to dart circles around Dubois, and we all know that. But like I said, he's got more than a puncher's chance. You know, he can box. Daniel Dubois can box. He's got a great jab. He's got fast hands, quite quick feet. He's a big, heavy guy. He's very physical. He won't let you get out of the corner. He will throw you down and throw you against the ropes. He does use his body more than someone like Anthony Joshua does. And he can really use this because he has got a considerable size advantage over Usyk. So it's not going to be easy, like people are saying. Let me know what you think, though. I could be talking total rubbish. I know Usyk is amazing, and it's going to be extremely difficult. He could also make Daniel Dubois look like a complete novice, and I wouldn't be surprised about that either. But let me know what you think of the fight. Do you think Daniel Dubois has got a chance? If so, let me know in the comments what kind of percentage of a chance you think Daniel Dubois has. 50-50? Is it as much as that? I don't think so. But you know, let me know. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. You know, because if Daniel Dubois lands, he could really shock the world. Anyway, that's all I got for now. It's going down August the 26th. It's in Poland. I'm on to the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more of a similar nature.